Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our very special program this afternoon. I want to see your emojis if you can hear me. I want to see those emojis rolling in. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. I hope you are all fired up and I hope you had a great Saturday. Today is going to be a spectacular one. Um, More so because this is one of the spaces where we have topics that are not so rampant in the tech world today. And of course, we have so much to unpack today, and we have amazing speakers who would be joining us. So, you are all welcome to this episode of the KTL Tech Bros, Texas Kingdom Builders. Good afternoon. If you are joining us for the first time, welcome to the one place where Control S means Christ the Savior, and our code never crashes because we build on the rock. I am Daniel MM, standing in for Bro Folusho. He's on official duties, and it's an honor to welcome you officially to the DCLM Tech community, which is a family of young professionals using keyboards, cameras, codes, and creativity for Kingdom Impact. I was expecting to see some applause and emojis rolling in. Please stay active because this is going to be one great session. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm sure you're as excited as I am. I'm already seeing some of our speakers coming in. So tonight or this afternoon is going to be very, very interesting. We are going to learn so much and we are going to connect with like minds and professionals in various fields. Of course, we don't just debug apps here, we debug lives. We don't just deploy software, we deploy purpose. That's why we have this Kingdom Tech Live, and it is an atmosphere where we use a space where we used to have conversations that you wouldn't naturally have in the tech space, like the one we are having today. So, with the KTL, we'll be having numerous and numerous conversations like this coming up. Previous times we held these conversations on X, formerly known as Twitter, but we had to come up with this initiative to ensure that we could capture in more people who are interested about subjects and topics like this. And I'm sure you are excited as well because tonight, um, this afternoon rather, you are going to learn so much. Um, Basically, what we believe when we are talking about the KTL is that your skill is your pulpit and your laptop is your altar because your code can carry the gospel. If you look around for some of us who have encountered the DCLM tech community, you can testify that we've been rolling out softwares, we've rolled out products, web products, applications, websites that have been pushing the kingdom agenda. And I'm sure that you would love to be part of it. So this is where you belong. Whether you are into UI, UX, data, cybersecurity, content, media, software, hardware, or you're still asking what is GitHub, you belong here. This is your tribe. This is your tribe. Today's meeting is not a lecture, it's more like a launch pad where we get to connect and listen to experts tell us about the issues on ground, the sacred boundaries. When work replaces your time with God, what are those practical steps that can be done? You are going to hear from them. You are going to hear from them tonight. And to help us navigate today's session with excellence, please help me welcome a woman who understands both clean codes and clean hearts. And I'm talking of no other person than Ajayi Trust Temitola. Please give her a round of applause. I want to see those emojis rolling in. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Um, Trust Temitola is a passionate communication and public speaking. Yes, dedicated to using her voice to inspire, inform, and connect with diverse audiences. She is a skilled writer, a compelling voiceover artist, and a creative spoken word artist known for delivering powerful, thought provoking performances. With experience in hosting virtual events, she brings confidence, she brings clarity, and the charisma to every platform she graces. Ajayi Trust has also showcased her spoken word artistry on a global stage, performing at the Global Crusade with Kumuyi, led by Pastor W.F. Kumuyi. Driven by purpose and expression, she continues to use her gifts to communicate impactful messages and inspiring, meaningful conversations. So please let the applause roll in as we welcome our moderator for this event this afternoon, Ajayi Trust Temitayo. Thank you so much. Please, Temitayo, the mic is yours. love that the applauses are still rolling in while we wait for our moderator to come in. She'll be with us shortly. Okay, while we're waiting for her, please, you can share the link, you can share the post, share it on your statuses on WhatsApp, put it up on your Facebook stories, on your IG. This is a conversation a lot of people want to hear about. Let's get them in here. We are going to learn so much, so much this afternoon. We're going to learn a lot, and we have awesome speakers on the lineup. So please share to your friends, your WhatsApp groups, and everyone. Ask them to join us. We are going to have an amazing time while we wait for our moderator to come up. Okay, as you can see, I think she's here. Let's give her a round of applause one more time. Trust Ajayi, you are welcome, ma'am. We trust that this session is going to be piloted awesomely in your hands, and we are going to be blessed richly. So welcome to the stage. This is the DCLM Tech community and the KTL community. We welcome you highly. Thank you for joining us. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Mr. Thank you very much, Mr. Daniel. I don't know if you can all hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear me, Mr. Daniel?
Yes, we can hear you, ma.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much. So my name is actually Temitayo, not Temitola. Okay, okay. Thank you. Yeah, so I said my name is Temitayo and not Temitola.
Okay, I think she's having some technical issues. I trust that she's going to join us back. Let's just give her some time. Let's just give her some time. She will join us shortly. Okay, while we're waiting for her, let's just share a word of prayer before we begin. Heavenly Father, we are grateful to you this afternoon. We have come for a wonderful session of learning amongst ourselves and uh, sharing what we know in the tech space. Lord, as we begin, we pray that you guide us through the session and everything we are going to do. In Jesus' name, we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank
Okay.
you very much, Mr. Daniel. Can you hear me now?
Yes, Ma, we can hear you. You're welcome back.
Yeah, thank you. And good day to everybody. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ajayi Trust Temitai. I was trying to say that my name is not Temitola Tayo. truly honored to be the moderator of this monumental event organized by the DCLM Tech community. And today we'll be exploring a very important topic that touches every aspect of our lives and how to strike a healthy balance between our work life, our prayer life, our families, and our rest. And we all know that sometimes it's quite difficult to find a balance between all of these things. And I want to believe that none of us is here by mistake. You're here because you intend to be here. You clicked on the link and you registered. So I want all of us to put in the theme of this program in the chat section. Just put in the theme so that I'm sure you know where you are and you know that you're in the right program. So please just put in the theme of the program in the chat box. I'm waiting for you guys. What's the theme of today's program? Can you all hear me? I can't see any response.
Yes, we can hear you. I can see some people putting it up in the chat.
Okay. So what's the theme of today's program? Okay. Okay, sacred boundaries when work steals prayer, family, and rest. Thank you very much, Mr. Isaac Anyebe. I hope I got the pronunciation right. Yeah, thank you very much. So that's why we are here. We're here to discuss sacred boundaries. We're here to discuss
I believe we can all relate to what is happening to our moderator. This happens in the tech space. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? And the network issues, but I want to believe she will be back and she will sort that out really soon. Okay, please, while we wait for her, let's do well to share amongst our friends. Um, Let them come on join. We have so much. I can see our speakers already boiling up for us, ready to unpack what they have. Okay, she'll be joining us shortly. Let's give her some time to switch on network. Okay, while we wait for her, I would love to run through our lineup of speakers, and we have very amazing speakers who will be speaking to us today and expanding the topic. And I'm sure that for most of us, we have questions that we wanted to ask, and of course, we are going to also have a time of question and answer. So while we are going through the course of the sections, please do well to put up your questions in the chat box so that we can answer them. And I'm sure that we'll have time to go through them and answer them one after the other. So um, as we progress, the chat box is always open in case we do not have time to get to pick you to ask your questions directly. You can put it up on the chat box so we can progress. Um, I'll be going through our lineup of speakers, and we have amazing speakers who will be taking us on various topics tonight. And each of the speakers will have a couple of minutes to run through their section of presentation. First on our lineup, we have uh, Desmond Nebui, who is an innovator and technology leader serving as Chief Digital Officer at Encrypt, where he leads product engineering and cross-functional execution across platforms spanning capital markets, payments, cybersecurity, and real estate technology. With almost a decade of experience, he has built and scaled cloud native systems, led engineering teams, and partnered closely with executives to align technology with business growth and long-term strategy. I thought I would see more emojis and applause coming in. He also holds a bachelor's degree in computer science from the United States, along with a mini MBA in business administration and operations from IBMI, Germany, and a leadership diploma from the Sam Chan Leadership Institute, USA. His background combines strong technical depth with business and leadership training, enabling him to operate effectively across both execution and strategy in a fast-paced environment. Desmond's work focuses on building reliable systems, innovation, strengthening infrastructure, and driving product innovation while maintaining a clear alignment between technology and business outcomes. It brings a practical, system driven approach to problem solving with experience spanning back end architecture, platform scalability, and organizational leadership. Let's roll in those applause for Mr. Desmond Nebui. He's here with us, and we are going to hear from him shortly. We're going to hear from him shortly. We also have Mr. Samuel Ogboye, who is a software engineer who enjoys building and scaling full stack applications across different industries with performance in mind. His work with a range of programming languages and thrives in agile teams where solving real problems is the priority. Beyond tech, he's, he serves as a Christian youth leader and is passionate about helping young minds live with purpose, set healthy boundaries, and grow spiritually in the middle of a fast-paced world. Let's see more of that. I want to see more emojis rolling in. These are amazing speakers we are going to be hearing from tonight. So let's get to hear from them. We'll get to hear from them shortly. We also have we also have um, Adorenke Agumbiade. known as the GenBridge HR, is a human resource and administrative professional at Post Assurance Brokers Limited, where she works at the intersection of people, culture, and structure, shaping workplaces that are not just functional, but genuinely human. And a first class graduate of English and literary studies from Anchor University, Lagos, she brings a rare blend of clarity, empathy, and strategic thinking to HR. Her work challenges outdated approaches and bridges the growing gap between organizational expectations and the lived realities of employees. In 2024, she was recognized as Rookie of the Year and as an employee engagement champion, not just for ideas, but for execution. She is known for transforming everyday workplace moments into experiences that foster connection, trust, and a stronger sense of belonging. Her perspective is simple, but not always comfortable. People are not problems to manage. They are potential to be understood, developed, and supported with the right systems. Beyond the workplace, Adorenke advocates for balance, wellness, and intentional living, showing that meaningful impact does not always require abundance, just thoughtfulness and consistency. Through her platform, the GenBridge HR, she leads honest, necessary conversations about work, culture, growth, building a voice that resonates with both employees and decision makers, and quietly influencing what the future of work feels like. These are our amazing speaker lineups, and I'm very sure that each of them will impact something wonderful in our lives. And I'm very sure you are seated. Pack your questions. We have HR here. We have scientists here. We have software engineers here, and a host all of other professionals. Pack your questions. You will have the time, or you put it up in the chat box as we progress. I think our moderator is back, so Trust, the mic is yours. Okay, I think um she might still be having network issues. Okay. All right, all right. Okay, we would progress. Whenever she's back, I would leave the deck for her to handle. I would love to ask a question to everyone, and I would love two people to share real life experiences about the topic on ground. And again, sacred boundaries when work steals prayer, family, and rest. Everyone who is in the tech space can get easily trapped with the fast paced nature of the, in fact, the tech world in general. Sometimes you find yourself working that you neglect not just your personal life, you neglect your family, you neglect, and of course, the most important thing, your spiritual life. So I would love to get to hear from some of us here. You can raise a hand and you go ahead and unmute. I will just call you. You go ahead and unmute, and then you just get to tell us real life experiences of what happened, maybe in your workplace or you're working remotely from home, how this has affected you. How is it? How has it happened that you have issues with balancing your work life, your in office or at home, or relating with colleagues. I would love to hear from just two people because of time. We're trying to cap this at 2 hours maximum. So I want to see two hands raised, and I will call you, and you will mute your mic, and then I let you. I want to hear your experiences. What has it been? What has happened in your life that you said, "Wow, why? How can I balance this?" Real life experiences. I want to see hands. I want to see hands. I want to see hands. I think the first two people are those I would pick. First two people are those I would pick. Our speakers are ready for us, so um, I want to get to hear from us. I want to get to hear from us. I want to see hands. We have over 70 people here, so nobody has experience. Okay, I want to see hands. Kenny, if you want to speak, you can raise your hand so you can unmute your mic and share with us what has your experience been. I have my own experience, but I want to hear from us before we proceed to our speakers. What is that thing that hits you? Okay, Precious has a hand up. Precious, you can go ahead. The mic is yours, Precious.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I don't know, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Okay, so my name is Precious, and I'm an undergraduate, and I'm currently doing my CIOS program at the hospital. So you asked about our experience, so I want to share mine. Uh, Currently, I go to the hospital. I leave as early as 7 o'clock, 7:30, before 7:30, to be able to get to the hospital. And then during the whole day, I spend like most of the day standing. So by the time I come back, probably around 4 or towards evening, I'm so tired. And then I have things to do. And I'm also taking an online class. Yeah, I'm also taking an online course. So by the time I come back and I come back to the house and I do the things I'm supposed to do and I decide to rest, probably while I rest and then like the time frame, I'm not meeting up with the time frame and all that. So by the time I wake up and say, okay, let me take my online course today, by the time I'm done with it, it's already late into the night, and sometimes I find myself struggling, and most times I'm not going to lie, I'll just try my best, like, let me just pray, let me just my Bible, because I do read my Bible before I sleep at night. So I'll be struggling with sleep. I'll be struggling with sleep in my eye. I'll just be like, let me just do this thing. Let me just. So that's my own experience. I do stress a lot during the day, and then I'm actually finding it hard to like balance the whole thing. So that's my own experience.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Precious. So yeah, that's one aspect. I think it's relatable to most people. Time management with spiritual activities, personal life. That's an important point. I think our speakers will do justice to that when they will come up pretty shortly. Okay, thank you so much, Precious, for sharing that. Let's get to hear from one more person before we let the mic to our speakers to take us away. What is that thing that hit you in your life, in your work life, that made you wonder and ponder and said, "Oh, how is it possible to manage work and life and spiritual life?" One more person. Let's see a hand. Let's see a hand. Let's see a hand. One more person. One more person. One more person. Okay. Okay. Ogumolu. I beg your pardon if I don't get your name right. Please pardon me for today. Thank you. Okay, the mic is yours, sir.
Yeah,
Omo.
hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, well, let me say I'm someone that is still learning. I do online trainings but I'm a mother of two. and my husband is not always around, I try to ensure that these children are spiritually well fed. Their spiritual life is not backward. But there is one aspect that I would like to improve, and that's about my presence more about as in my improvement on my own work. Because some days, let me just say like 2 days, I may not be able to work on my laptop or get trained or just do some work to improve on myself, busy with one thing or the other. So I joined this program actually to learn more on how I can balance the family life with the spiritual aspects and every other thing. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. These are the issues we are here to talk about and resolve. And thank you for sharing that. I don't know if we can take one more person who wants to share. Feel free. This is a very free space, and we have our speakers ready. They would love to hear from us. If we can have one more person share their experience, and then we go on to get our first speaker. Any more? Any more? One more? One more? One more? Okay, okay. In the app, okay, one more person. Ophili Nwabu Nwanne. Okay, thank you for raising your hand. The mic is yours.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. So currently, I'm a lawyer, and yeah, so I do my work schedule is from 9 to 6. Obviously, it goes beyond that, and sometimes I think I'm at this point where there's apathy. I don't want to pray. I don't want to read my Bible. I don't feel nothing. I just want to wake up and do nothing. So yeah, that's what I'm here.
Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for sharing. Our speakers are listening keenly to this. And I'm sure it's not just the three people who have shared their experiences. I'm sure it's relatable to a lot of people on here. At this point, I would love for us to get to hear. I'm sure we are all eager to hear from our speakers. So we are going to go into our speaker sessions now. We want to hear from our speakers. The first person we are going to hear from this afternoon is none other person than Mr. Desmond Nebwe. Again, he is an innovator and technology leader. Please, I want to see applauses and emojis rolling in. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I don't know if Trust, is your network stable now? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I think it's much better.
Okay, thank you so much.
Can you hear me too?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
So I will leave the deck to you. Please take us away.
Okay. Thank you very much. So sorry for the network issues. So we'll continue with the program, and Mr. Desmond will be talking to us on one aspect of our lives, and that will be sacred boundaries, how to balance our work life with our family life, with our prayer life, sorry. So you'll be taking us on how to balance our work life with our prayer life. So Mr. Desmond, over to you. Is Mr. Desmond with us?
Yeah. Hello? Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, sir.
Let me also confirm if you can see me.
Yes, we can see you. You can go on.
So, it's great to be here. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to everyone today. And I hope that after the session, we'll be able to have better analysis. to our work, our life, and everything around us. I believe that this topic goes beyond work and maybe our prayer life and our family and all of that. I think it's about relationship, all of things like that. So, but as I have this conversation with you all today, I think the first thing I want to talk about is boundaries. Boundaries, borders. I'm sure for many of us, they will. Someone saying something?
Yeah, the network is we can't hear you. Sorry, the audio is kind of glitching.
So,
Okay, sir. If you could hear us, you have to unmute so we could hear you.
hello.
Yes,
Is
you are
it
back,
better?
sir.
Is
Much
it better
better.
than before? All right. So, I was saying that to start this conversation, I want to first begin to even talk about what boundary is. I'm sure a lot of us, everybody here, can explain or define or even give us an expose on what boundary is all about. Borders, boundaries. I'm sure to different sects of people, boundaries can be explained in different things. For the CSS guys, borders, boundaries mean different things. For those people who are in cybersecurity, networking, and all, DevOps, and all those things, boundaries, borders could mean setting up firewalls and all of those things like that. But at the end of the day, there's just one concept that is the same thing, even though how you apply it to your various fields is different. I mean, speaking technically now, how you apply it to your various fields is different. But the main idea of boundaries, borders, and all of those things is the fact that I'm setting a line that A cannot cross to B and B cannot cross to A. Think of it like having a Chinese wall. Are we together? Now, now that we understand that part, I think the next thing for us to talk about is what is the cost? We're working, we're doing several things. We're doing a lot of things for ourselves, trying to, number one, make ends meet, which is very important. Number two, have our names written in the sands of time, that is for legacy purposes. And then number three, to impact generations that are coming ahead of us. All of these things are fantastic, but in the long run, if we are not able to manage ourselves effectively, like I always tell people that I don't believe in time management. What I believe is that because time, you cannot manage time. Time is just moving in itself. What you can do is you can manage yourself with respect to time. I mean, for those of us that did computer science and calculus and all of those things, you begin to, by the time you're doing differential calculus and all of that, you see that you are differentiating or integrating with respect to a particular variable or a particular constant, right? So that's how it is. So you are the variable, you are the one that can change. Time is constant. So you need to be able to manage yourself with respect to time, which is where all of this is. That's where everything rises and falls upon, right? So many of us did not stop praying because maybe we stopped. Nothing like that. It's not because we don't believe in God. It's not because we just became too extraordinarily busy, right? I just think it's because prayer was like one of those things that requires faith, right? So because prayer requires faith, gradually there was no punishment for not praying, and then gradually begins to fizzle out. Like the songwriter will say, it's a slow fade when you give yourself away. So for example, today you wake up in the morning, maybe you used to pray for 30 minutes before, and then today you just had like a very, very crazy deadline, and maybe you slept over the night, and then the next morning you wake up and you're like, oh, I've not done this, and then you wake up, maybe just pray 5 minutes prayer, and then you go. Tomorrow, 2 minutes prayer, and then you go. Then before you know, one day you just live the entire day and you're not praying at all. So you begin to understand that it is those little change that happens over time that now begins to bring down that entire prayer time. Now that's the cost. So in economics, they teach us this thing called opportunity cost. So you are foregoing prayer at the expense of, or you are progressing at the expense of your prayer life or the expense of your spiritual life. Now, so how then can we bring a balance to all of these things? How then can we say, okay, what practical steps? Because me, I believe that aside all of the theoretical things and whatnot I'm going to say here today, what we actually need is practical steps. What practical steps do we need to have? Now, prayer, like I believe, should not be there's no one way to pray, right? The Bible even says, I'm sure this is a gathering of believers, and I am allowed to quote the scripture. So the Bible even says that praying always with all manner of prayer and supplication. Now it says praying always. So it means that you wake up in the morning, you pray. If it is 15 minutes, you can pray. Maybe you wake up late in one day, for example. You won't sit down and say you want to pray for 30 minutes because no, you have somewhere to be, right? So praying always, right? So again, that's where managing yourself with respect to time comes in. You know that 5 a.m. will always be 5 a.m. So you either sleep early enough so you can wake up early enough to pray ahead, right? Or you sleep late and you wake up late and you don't have enough time to pray. So you see that there's always going to be that, time is always going to be constant, right? So you need to always see, how can I continually fine-tune myself? How can I continually adjust myself with respect to time, with how time is changing, with how things are moving ahead, right? So if I wake up today and I only have 15 minutes in my entire schedule to pray, right? Bible says praying always with all manner of prayer and supplication. So if I have 15 minutes to pray, I pray for that 15 minutes, do my quiet time and all and whatnot in that 15 minutes. That is one manner of prayer. I don't know if anybody agrees with me. That is one manner of prayer. Another manner of prayer is you could be walking, you put your headphone in your ears and you are just like this, but you are praying in your spirit. That is also praying, right? You could be doing, now, doesn't now mean that, okay, I'm in a meeting with maybe my manager or something and I'm now doing like this. No, obviously, you know that something's wrong. In that moment, even while you are there, remember in First Kings, again, I'm going to refer to the scripture a lot. In First Kings, when there was a time that Elijah was speaking to the king Ahab, and Elijah said that, and Elijah said unto Ahab, O king, there shall not be dew nor rain, according to my word, right? So he said something like, I can't exactly remember how he phrased that sentence, but he said, before God whom I stand. Now, it means that there's that consciousness that I'm before my guy in the office, I'm before my boss, so I'm before somebody, my superior, or my chairman of the board or whatever, who is like a king, quote and unquote, in the ecosystem or in the office. However, all of us that are there, we are still before an audience of the King of Kings. So even my boss, so you are here, but still, I'm also still in the presence of God. So while he's speaking to me and while something is happening or whatever, I can quickly say, oh, let me piggyback. Let me quickly get alignment from heaven. Let me quickly know what heaven is saying at this time. I don't know if anybody is understanding what I'm trying to say. So you can quickly, even right there, it has happened to me several times, right? So where you are working, you are doing a project, you are in a meeting, right? Sometimes you're in a meeting and you're talking and ideas are flying here and there, and then there's confusion, and then you quickly in your mind, in your spirit, you just say, oh God, please, I need to know what exactly is happening. How can I figure this thing out? And in 10 minutes, something just comes and like, oh, so this is, why don't we do it like this? Why don't we go this way? I can talk about my mentor anytime, any day, Pastor Toby Nandoze. He gave us a very, very good example. There was a time there was a very, very critical issue, at the office back then. And then, why things were not working fine, everybody. And he just, he prayed and he said, okay, God, what do I do about this? And then, that idea just came. And he just said, oh, can we do this, do it this way, do it that way? I think it's something that had to do with the ATMs and all that. Can we do it this way, do it that way? And then immediately everything worked out fine. In fact, it even led to more promotion for him. So what am I trying to bring out here? What exactly is the essence? What exactly am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is that there is no one-way traffic to prayer. Even the Bible has said, praying always. So you must always be praying with all manner of prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving. Are you on? So because if you take the Bible at face value, if you take the Bible exactly, please, when my time is about to be up, can somebody please just notify me, because I can keep talking forever like this. So if we take the Bible as it is, as it has told us to, pray always. Yes, you're walking on the street, you're praying. You are in the bus, you are praying, and you don't even have to. It doesn't mean you don't have to close your eyes and be praying. No, you are moving around. You are doing something in the office. You are balancing the accounts. You are praying. You are, it helps you to keep in tune. It helps you to, be as you're right. So okay, I'll give an example. There was a time I was working on a project and there was a bug. I mean, it was one of those very nonsense bugs that maybe you put a full stop or you put a comma where you should put a semicolon. One of those very nonsense cases. And I was praying, and it just immediately after you pray, you just see that, this is. Other times, I have a very, very serious edge case or something that I need to deal with as regards maybe an architecture or something, and then I'm having serious headache. Sometimes I just pray. Sometimes I don't even pray. You just go and sleep, and you see yourself solving the problem in a dream. God is showing you the answer of what to do in the dream, and then immediately you wake up in that kind of situation. For me, immediately I wake up, the first thing I want to do is I want to carry my laptop and quickly download what I've just received. Because if I say I should go and do quiet time and read Bible, I probably may forget it. So let me first download everything that I've received, and then so again, there's no hard and fast rule, right? So we need to understand that there's no hard and fast rule. The idea is that you must pray always. Your prayer life must be functional. Your prayer altar must not, you shouldn't allow it to be dry and cold and empty. Now, there's a trick, and this is what I do. Sometimes, you're praying all through the day and all of this, but sometimes you realize that on a particular day, at a particular time, now this is where boundary comes in, right? You realize that it's like my prayer life, my spiritual life, I've not been able to read Bible, I've not been able to do this, I've not been able to do that. What do? You take, if it is the weekend, so you are the, I forgot, I don't know what they call them in the office, you are always available for everybody. Everybody wants to solve a problem, everybody has an issue, you are the go-to person, you are most resourceful employee of the year. HRO, when she comes, she will give you the award, but then you need to be able to take some time away. Yes, landman, you need to be able to take some time apart and say, okay, today, normally I'm supposed to have my Saturday for myself or my whatever day for yourself. But you're always working. Today, just I'm not picking any calls. Sometimes I do that. I just say, whatever I want. I tell my wife or I tell my friends that say, I'm not doing anything today. Today, maybe I just want to pray. I just want to meditate, or I just want to go and do some physical activity. So I just want to, just create that bound. Just leave work. There are other aspects of your life that needs to thrive, right? Again, I'll say that there are other aspects of your life that need to thrive. So you need to leave work and just allow yourself to explore every other version of yourself. All of you is not about the office. There are other versions of yourself that needs to come to the limelight. So I just say, whatever wants to happen, today, and yes, when you begin to apply that, at the beginning, people may begin to think that you are no, but gradually, people begin to respect. So if you don't respect yourself, nobody's going to respect you. If you don't bring yourself as somebody that should be respected, nobody's going to respect you. I did a project with someone, and this is the last thing I'm going to say. so that other speakers can also speak. I did a project with somebody. Okay, no, I had an event last year. I was sharing the committee for an event last year, and I had to bring some of my mentors, male and female, to just come to the event to speak. And I reached out to her. She's a non-executive director at one of the banks, and I was like, "Oh, Ma, we want you to come, just talk to us because we need women in entrepreneurship and all of those things like that." And guess what? She told me, "You know what? This one I don't work on Saturdays. Saturday, I want to go and watch my son's football game. I need to be there for him." So you can already see that there's a boundary. It was out of maybe, should I call it respect, or okay, because it's you or something like that, and which I deeply, deeply, deeply appreciate. That she said, "Okay, you know what? I'm going to come for your event or before the game, or I will go to the game and then come for your event," and all of those things. So you just need to understand that you need to create boundaries so that you don't find yourself in a dry season that you created by yourself because you refuse to pray or because you refuse to set boundaries. Are we together now? So that you don't find yourself in that kind of situation because you refuse to set boundaries. So for me, I'm going to draw the curtain here. So stop looking for the best way to go about it. No, just remember, praying always with all manner of prayer and supplication with thanksgiving. Right? The goal is not to be, the goal is not to be like, oh, maybe, yes, you need to be like Christ, right? So, but the goal is not to be like, oh, I'm doing 10 hours of prayer. No, you have your work to do. You have your KPIs to meet. You have things that you need to do if you're in my office and you are not meeting your stuff and you are saying that you're praying, so I'm going to fire you. Sorry. I'm a minister, but I mean, some of my colleagues, some of the people that work under me, they are in the church too, and they know how I deal with them. When, you can't come and give any excuse that you are praying. Okay, so I'm going to come and pay you salary at the end of the year. No. So, but the Bible says praying always with all manner of prayer. So you are praying, you are diligent. So the goal is not to be so perfect. You are doing 10 hours of prayer. No, I'm not. Yes, you can do that. That's why I say you need to be able to have boundaries. Saturday, no, fine, go ahead, pray. I'll even join you if I have the time. But the goal is that you should have a prayer life that can survive your schedule. Remember where I started from. Time is constant. Time will always change. You need to manage yourself with respect to time. Right? And pray always with all manner of prayer and supplication. Remember to not be slothful in business, fervent spirits, and serve the Lord. I hope with this few points of mine, I've been able to help you understand how to set boundaries, especially for your spiritual life and for your prayer life. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Desmond, for that wonderful presentation. I believe that we've all learned a lot. I've also learned a lot from his presentation. I've learned that there is no one-way traffic to prayer. There is no one-way traffic. And then ideally, as a Christian, we are meant to pray always. So wherever you find yourself, you can be plugged in with your earpiece, you're praying, maybe you're in the office and you're less busy at that point in time, you can pray. It does not have to be that you have 1 hour. I have 1 hour to pray. Then, okay, you know that, yes, I'm praying. At every point in time, we're meant to be praying. And I want to say this. While I was serving, I had enough time to pray. So I'd wake up in the morning. I could spend 1 hour reading my Bible, enjoying my time with God in prayer. And then when I started working, it was different. And there was that guilt of, oh, I'm not having 1 hour to pray like I used to do before. But then we can see from Mr. Desmond's presentation that let your prayer schedule fit into your work time. So if you're working, let's say 8 to 4, and then you have to get back home by 8, don't be looking for 1 hour. Let's say you wake up late, you wake up by 6, and you're meant to be at your workplace by 8. And then you can say, oh, I must have that 1 hour time with God. If not, my prayer life is not complete. No, let your prayer life blend with your work life also. And I pray that God is going to help us. So I don't know if anybody has any question as regards Mr. Desmond's presentation. Do you have any question regarding your prayer life? You know, someone said something, I think when I joined, I had someone saying she doesn't just have that interest. There's a sort of apathy for prayer. She doesn't have that interest in prayer again. So please, if you have questions as regards all those areas, I'd like you to ask your question. But before anybody asks Mr. a question, I'd like Mr. Desmond to talk about that area. The lady that mentioned that she just has apathy for prayer or apathy for prayer.
Okay. So for having apathy for prayer, I think one of the things I know is that the only way to solve prayerlessness is by praying. That's just it. There's nothing you can do. You don't it's just like say you have voters apathy. You know, we are going to election season very soon, or we're already in election season, right? So, and you say I have voters apathy. The only way to solve voters apathy is by going to vote. So the only way to solve that issue of I don't feel like praying is by praying. Even when you don't feel like praying, that's where the discipline comes in, right? So even when I don't feel like praying, or because sometimes we eat, even when we don't feel like eating, the doctor will still force us to eat. Why? Because it is necessary. You know, Paul the Apostle said, necessity is laid upon me. So it's necessary. Many of us, you don't feel like writing code sometimes, but you just open your laptop and start code. You don't feel like preparing those documents, but you just have to do it. And then guess what? The moment you start doing it, you know, you just, I don't know what's called, you just continue doing it. You know, you just, the enthusiasm and the what have you just comes upon you, and then you just keep on going ahead with it. So the solution to not wanting to pray is to pray. You know, I mean, and you don't have to pray 1 hour. You know, it's not by starting with 1 hour prayer or something. It's just like saying that I think the lady's a lawyer, right? So it's just like saying that I don't feel like going to court today, or I've not gone to court in a very long time. And then the first time in maybe 10 years, if it happens, I don't know, I'm just guessing on, right? And then maybe the first time in 10 years that you want to go to court, you are now the first chair. No, now you probably be second chair, or you just follow behind. Do you understand my point? But again, for you to come back, you have to even start by praying. You have to even, if it's 5 minutes, if it's 10 minutes, and then gradually you begin to, and then before you know, you continue with all manner of prayers and supplication. Guess what? God help me, I don't know how to pray. God help me, I don't feel like praying. It's also prayer.
Thank you very much, Mr. Desmond. So I think you've given us a very simple answer to that question. The only way to solve your prayer apathy is by praying. There's no 10 steps to being a prayerful Christian, because we are being realistic here, right? Nobody is giving you 10 steps or 10 rules to becoming a better prayerful Christian. So the only way to solve prayer apathy is by praying. So does anybody have any question for Mr. Desmond? Anybody with any question? Please raise your hands and I'll give you the opportunity to ask your question. Does anybody have any question? We're over 82 here. All right, thank you very much, Mr. Desmond. We'll have to continue because of our time. But then before we continue, I'd like you all to write this down in your notebook, in your jotter, whatever you're using to jot. I want you to write this down. Balance is not dividing your time equally. It is about giving your energy wisely. So I want you to write it down, because some people want to know how they can divide their time equally to everything that they want to do. Balance is not about dividing your time equally. It is about giving your energy wisely. So thank you very much, Mr. Desmond, for that wonderful presentation. We'll be going on to our next speaker, Mr. Samuel Ogboye. I hope I got the pronunciation correctly. And he'll be talking about sacred boundaries when work steals your family time. So, Mr. Samuel, over to you.
All right, thank you. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everyone, for wherever you're watching. Can I confirm if you can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Mr. Samuel.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Desmond. He has done a little much justice to balancing work with career life. So right now we'll be talking about family, how you balance your work with family. I want to be honest with you, or that one of the easiest way to fail, one of the easiest ways to fail is to succeed at work, because work is rewarding you, your progress, your achievement, there's promotion, there's recognition. It's not because the work is bad. As a software engineer, as nurse, as a law professional, it's not because the work is bad, but because you get more reward. It's not as if you get more reward faster than the family does. Family, if I come back home, all the best thing I can get is from my wife to say, okay, hello, and for my children to say, oh, daddy, mommy, you're welcome. Because at work you get results, you get promotion, you get promoted, you get recognition. But at home, it's slower, it's quieter, and it's as if it feels unnoticed. But that is where we need to be careful, because some of us from work, even when we close out from work and we come back home, our mind is still at work. Even our body is still at work. We are thinking about the letter you were writing. You are thinking about the report that you were writing. Even when your wife is speaking to you, honey, your mind is gone. You're not there. Even when your children comes to you, daddy, mommy, your mind is gone, because you are combat with your work. And it's a point in which we need to be very careful. Because if you are not careful, you start investing where you are celebrated. You start investing where you are getting tangible physical results in quotes, and withdrawing where you are needed. Because I've seen this happen personally, not just in theory. Because I've seen men that work incredibly, they did perform very well professionally, but their kids don't talk to them. They don't know anything about their kids. The only thing, they just come home and just say, how was school today? Fine, that's all. Oh, my wife, how are you today? Fine, that's all. They are not interested in knowing their kids. They are not interested in getting into details. I know a particular family in which they don't see their father. I mean, they don't see their father. They live in the same house, but they don't see their father up until weekend. Because the father will wake up 4 a.m. and come back 10 p.m. 4 a.m., they're not yet awake. And 10 p.m., they're already asleep. So they don't see their father. They don't get to know, they don't get to talk, they don't get to discuss, because the daddy is just saying that, well, let me just go. Let me just provide. All what you need is provision. I will bring money. All what you need is money. I will bring it. But it's not about that. Okay? Because everything might look fine outside, but inside the home, there is distance. And we need to be very, very careful. As much as your work is important, your family is also important. When you start drifting, you are paying more attention. You are paying more attention to your work while leaving your family. Because I've even had to check myself, quite a number of times I have to work, because there's always something to fix. There's always a bug to fix. There's always a feature to add. There's always a meeting to attend, meeting upon meeting. There's always something to improve. Work never really ends. Even when I'm done at work, let me come. That open source that I need to contribute, that personal project that I need to do on my laptop, on my phone. And the scary thing is, you can be physically present at home and still be completely absent. Yes, you can be present at home and still be completely absent. Because even when your child comes to you and say that that is talking, your child is talking to you, but your mind is absent, absent-minded. Your spouse is with you, but you're not really there. That is the reason why we need to ensure that we do not just, just like Mr. Desmond said the other time, we need to ensure boundary and not allowing an aspect to eat into an aspect. Because what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world? Even when we relate this to spiritual life, if he shall gain the whole world and lose what matters. Your family that's supposed to get the best of you, they are now getting the remnants, what is left. They are not getting what is left. They are not getting the best of you. Sometimes we say that our parents, they don't have time for us. They just go on, work and work and work and work. No time. How do we now ensure that we give our children, our spouse, our family enough time? One of our pastors made an illustration some time ago. He said, which woman will give birth to a child today and say that, oh, I have a conference to go in Canada, I have a conference to go in UK, let me go? It's because if she goes, the work will continue, get promotion, but something that matters is already at the detrimental side. Something that matters is already at the disadvantage side. So that is why the Bible puts it clear in that Mark chapter 8 verse 36 that I quoted the other time. What does it profit a man to gain? To gain everything. You make money. Your first job, from your first job, you enter the second job, and when you come back home, online class, online lectures, you want to get more money. You say, we need more money. We need more money to rent, to upgrade our status, to go on, to move on, to ensure that we settle our children, to give them better opportunity, better privileges, but at the detriment of our work, of our position at home, at the detriment of what we need to do. That's why we need to ensure that we put everything into consideration. We usually read that. And we must understand something, that even when we say we provide, money, is not just financial. It is presence. It is attention. How much attention are you giving your children? How much attention are you giving your wife? I remember when I just got married then, and I was on a job, and it was so stressful and cumbersome that, well, it was stressful, but me, I like work. I stretched it further, that 10 hours in a day I'm on my laptop, and I would just hear that, only come and call to me. That's what I do. That is a point that I know that no. I am lagging behind in something. For me to leave my wife and say, okay, this is what let this work stay at this point in time. See, if this work stay at this point in time, even if I'm progressing at work, even if I'm moving forward, even if I'm getting promoted, I'm getting more money, and the relationship between I and my wife is not cool. There's a distance. To what end? Because I'm still coming back home. To what end? If my children cannot come to me and tell me something freely, if I don't know much about my children, how can I help them? How can I ensure that I put them right in the way of the Lord if I'm so burdened with work? Because it's still going to boomerang. It's still going to come around later on, because we do not have time for our children. You don't even know that your children are putting on some habit. You did not know. It's because your attention was not there. All what you are doing is work. And I want to be very honest with you. See, If something happens to that your job today, your employer will put out advert tomorrow, and by next week, you get a replacement for you. So, what will happen to your family? To what end are we going to go on? So the real question is your life structured in a way that they actually experience that love? Is your life structured in a way that you are not just burdened by your work, that even you transfer that your work to home? So what are some things that you can do? What are some things that you can ensure you put in place? So I'll share what I actually do, not perfectly, but intentionally. Number one, you must ensure that, please moderator, if my time is up, you can always let me know. You must ensure that you schedule your family. Yes, you put your family into schedule. Because if anything is not on your calendar, it's not real. Work already owns your calendar. Work already owns your day. If you're working 9 to 5, maybe in the office, or maybe remotely. Even remotely, those of us that work remotely, I think this is the sharpest idea, because we work almost 24 hours. We're not confined to a particular place. So if you do not deliberately block time for your family, you will never get what is left. So you need to deliberately, intentionally block time for your family. Just as our first speaker said the other time, that you create time for prayers. You need to intentionally block time for your family. This time, yes, you schedule your family, you put them into consideration intentionally. Don't say, oh, I'm there. Once I'm close from work, I'm going to go home. They are not going to get anything. Even if they are going to get something, they're going to get what is left and not the best of you. So this way you can be a genius, you can do well at work, and also perform your duties at home. It will not be as if the distance between you and your family drifting far apart. Because the main essence of family is to be together. Is for our productivity, is for pleasure, is for bonding. And you know, when we talk about when husband and wife comes together, you say the two of you will come together. What God has joined together, let no man what? Let no man put asunder. But your work is putting asunder. Your work is putting it asunder. Your work is dividing. Your work is creating a bridge between you and your family. All what you just do is just to come home, just like roommates. Just come home, just go. You are back. Let me eat. Honey, what did you cook? You eat. Once you are done, you carry your laptop. Even when your wife is talking to you, honey, something happened today. Okay. All right. Do you know what I said? What did you say the other time? You are not there. Your mind is away. And your children, they are saying that, mommy, this is it. This is it. This is what I did in school. This one, you are not there. And let me tell you something. If you say, is it not to make provision? Your children, they are going to forget the gift. They are going to forget the gift that you give them. They are going to forget the money that you give them, but they will remember how you were there for them. They will remember how you are there to hear from them. So what I do is to block your time, block family time intentionally, and treat it as a serious commitment, just as you treat your KPI very seriously. Because if you are not meeting your KPI, you know the discipline you're going to get, you know the grade you're going to get. So you're going to treat your family seriously. Not that I'm free, it's already decided. Not if I'm free, not I'm going to be there if I'm free. No. As your work has blocked your time, blocked your calendar during the day or whatever your work schedule is, you need to also intentionally block your calendar for your family. You need to be intentional about it. Because when distance starts creeping in, problems start setting in, and it will defeat the purpose of family. It will defeat the purpose of the home. Do we get that? Are we still together? Can you still hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Please, how many minutes do I have left?
You have 2 minutes left, sir.
Okay, 2 minutes left. All right. Now, another thing I want us to know is that you need to define what presence is. Be present. It sounds nice, but what does it mean? You know, see, let's be practical. When you are told, you need to put your phone down. With your wife, with your husband, put your phone down, put your laptop down. Eye to eye conversation. Listen fully. See, work will continue. Meeting deadlines, you are going to meet deadlines. But when you are at home, when you've already appointed, schedule a time for your family, put your laptop down, close your laptop, put your phone down, eye to eye, so that your spouse, your children will know that yes, we have someone, we have a father, we have a mother. We don't just have somebody that says that what do you need? Just give you no time with your people. Just like what the Bible says in Colossians 3 verse 23, when we apply that to work, when we apply that to work, but your family deserve the full-hearted attention. Presence is not about proximity. It's not that you are near. You can still be around and still be absent. So let's ensure that work does not creep into our family, because the essence of family, why God created family, is to bring about boundary and for us to be there for our spouse, for our children. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Desmond, for that wonderful presentation. I really appreciate the fact that you used yourself as an example for us to be able to learn better. And I think one thing I've learned from the two speakers is that for you to be able to build boundaries, you have to be very intentional. Mr. Desmond mentioned it. Mr. Samuel also mentioned the same thing. I'm so sorry. Yeah, so Mr. Samuel also mentioned the same thing, that you have to be very intentional to protect what matters to you. And I'd like to add that sacred boundaries are intentional limits. I'd like to put a definition to it, so you can write it down. Sacred boundaries are intentional limits you set to protect what holds the deepest value to you. They are intentional limits that you put up to protect what holds the deepest value to you. So you always want to protect what you love the most, right? Your prayer life, your family life, your rest. There are things that are very important to you, and there are things that you love to protect. And then you have to be very deliberate about protecting those things. Thank you so much once again, Mr. Samuel. I don't know if you have questions for Mr. Samuel. Anybody with questions, please raise your hands and I'll give you the opportunity to ask the question. Before we take a question from the audience, Mr. Samuel, I'd like to ask, how do you make up for times where work takes you away from your family? Because we are being practical here, and then we know that sometimes it is inevitable for you to leave your family because of one reason or the other, and work can be a very genuine reason for you to leave them. So how do you make up for times where you have to leave your family because of work?
Okay, thank you very much. I'm going to come with that from two perspectives. Number one, you need to build with purpose. You need to discuss with your spouse. You need to talk about work demands. You need to agree on boundaries together, right? So whenever, even if your work takes you away from your family for a while, and you are back, you need to be able to discuss with your spouse and come back and say that this is what is involved. Do you understand? And this is what is involved. And by the time you are done, you come back as a reset. You come back and say that, okay, I've gone for a while. I am going to come back now. We're going to be together. So that's what I'm going to say about that.
All right, thank you very much, sir, for that wonderful answer. Does anybody have questions? We're not asking questions.
Yeah, I think there's a question in the chat box.
Okay.
Okay, can I just read the question?
I think she's having network issues. You can read the question.
Okay, all right. So the question says that, what about the singles amongst us, sir? Aren't they affected on the family table too? Yeah, you are also included. Okay. Oh, sorry, I didn't include singles. You also included, because see, there are some people, they say, I'm not married. Work. No time for personal preparation. No time to build yourself. No time for personal development. Because sooner or very soon, if Christ tarries, you're going to get married. No time to say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. You just infuse in growth with your work. No time for personal development. No time to take care even yourself. Even your parent, no time to call your parent, no time to call your siblings, because you are not just there. I'm busy. If anybody, oh, I'm busy, I don't have time. It is what we learn now. It is what you accommodate now. That is what is going to follow you by the time you get married. Is how you're able to manage your time very well now. Is how you're able to ensure you maintain balance to it now. That is what is going to transcend by the time your spouse comes. It's not be as if your spouse comes and says that, why are you not having time for me? See, I've been like that too. Before I got married to you, I've been busy. These are my work schedule has been, all these kind of things. No. So singles, learn to ensure that you balance this up now. So by the time you have your spouse, you have your children, you have time for them. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Samuel, for the response to that question. I think for singles, we also have our immediate family, right? We have our immediate family, and sometimes we might neglect them, our parents, our siblings, because we are engrossed in our work. So we have to include them in our schedule, like Mr. Samuel said. We have to be intentional about creating time for them so that we do not affect our relationship with them. And I would like to ask the audience a very important question. Mr. Emmanuel gave us certain steps on how we can build boundaries to protect our family. So what step are you willing to take to protect your family, whether you're married or unmarried? Please, he said we have to be intentional, and you have to build that intentionality now. It is not until we get married, right? We have to build it. We start building that deliberate the intentionality right now. So please, I want answers from both singles and the married people. What steps are you taking to protect your family life? What sacred boundary are you going to build to protect your family life? Please, I want answers from the audience. Someone said, looking into my spouse eye to eye and shutting down my system. Okay, that's very good. Someone else, please. Yes, any other contribution? How would you like to protect your family? What boundary are you willing to put up? I know people that would not pick calls once it is 9 p.m. Start learning multitasking, okay? I know people that will not pick calls once it is 9 p.m. because they would like to focus on their family. Somebody said, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of my faith. Okay, that's very good. I think that's a boundary we can set up to build our spiritual life, right? Looking up to Jesus. Schedule calls with my moms and siblings. Yes. Sometimes we can be so engrossed in our work that we forget that those people exist. So scheduling time is very important. Scheduling your time for them is very important. Okay, so thank you very much for your contribution. We are going to continue with the program. Thank you so much, Mr. Samuel. God bless you for that wonderful presentation. So I'd like you all to write this down. Write it down. Balance is choosing what deserves your yes and having the courage to say no to the rest. Balance is choosing what deserves your yes and having the courage to say no to the rest. So we'll continue by inviting the third speaker, Ms. Aderonke Agumbiade. She's going to be talking about sacred boundaries when work steals rest. Sacred boundaries when work steals rest. Miss Aderonke, over to you, please.
Hello, good afternoon. How are you doing? Kindly confirm
Good
that
afternoon, we are doing fine. It's nice to have you with us.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I am Aderonke Agumbiade, the Gem Bridge HR, and just to set the ground running, I'm not the HR that is going to pamper you. Okay, so what I'm trying to say to you is, I'm going to say the truth to you, the way it is supposed to be. Okay, now as a 9 to 5, as a techie, we've been conditioned to say, oh, when we are doing our jobs, we're supposed to be dedicated. 9 to 5 is 9 to 5. Some people even work extra hours, which nobody sends them anyway. It's also a gentle reminder that work will continue with or without you, most especially without you. I repeat, work will continue without you. Remove the with to those that want to be doing past themselves. So why am I saying this? I'll give you a quick story because I'm a very good storyteller. In 2024, I got my first job as HR support and admin support, right? I moved to Lagos on Saturday, started work on Monday. This is someone who went to a private school, didn't necessarily have all the time to be doing all this jumping of downfall. Lagos stress was never a thing to me. First week as a 9 to 5, I put it to you that I felt sick. I resumed on Monday. By Friday, I was admitted. I will tell you why. It's not as if the work was that exhausting, but the transitioning was something I was not ready for. And when I saw that I'd not even spent up to 4 days, complete 4 days, because onboarding was for the first day, I started working for the second day. I told myself I would never put my life on the line for any job. Why? The salary can pay your bills, but it will never replace you as a person to yourself, to your loved ones, and to your family members. Okay? Like I said earlier, work will continue with or without you. And we're talking about rest and boundaries, right? What did I do as a newbie, as a 9 to 5? I told myself I was not going to install Outlook, the whole Microsoft package. I was not going to install it on my phone for work. Teams was never on my phone until after a year where I saw, oh, okay, I could actually do this. Why? The rest we're talking about, today is Saturday. Some of you are still on your laptops by now. They're saying, oh, you're coding, you want to send a report, blah, 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 blah. When will all of this stop? I put it to you that the work that you're carrying on your head like a gigi bread. If the board wakes up tomorrow, they're going to replace you. And there is nothing you're going to do about it. There is nothing. So in all of this, what am I trying to say? You should find a system. Build a system whereby you are working and you're not losing yourself in the process. What am I saying? For boundaries, I told myself, as a person, I don't take calls after 9 p.m. My family members, yes, I can take calls. My family members, I know my family members know me. Friends, if it's an emergency, yes, we can talk for that long, but work is between 9 to 5. As a Lagos 9 to 5er, I am on the road as at 7, 8, just because I want to get to work by 9. That means I have 8 hours at work, and let's just say we're dividing 24 hours into 3. We have 8 each, like that's 8 hours each. 3, 8 hours. Do you understand? So I spend 8 hours fully at work, right? I spend 4 hours to and fro, 2 hours to go, 2 hours to come back. When is the time for rest? So this is me telling you that if you don't make time to rest, your body will shut down when you don't even expect it. And this is what happens to many 9 to 5ers or many techies, where you see you're dedicating your life to social impact, you're dedicating your life to coding and the likes. But there is room for rest. Boundaries in the sense that I work 9 to 5, 9 to 5 is 9 to 5. Whatever comes outside that, I'm going to respond to you in the next office window between 9 and 5. I personally, when I started my 9 to 5, I told myself, I'm a Gen Z, yes, by the way. Hi, Gen Z, kindly wave, give some emojis, let me know my guys. Yes. Thank you so much. So as a proud Gen Z, I told myself I was not going to walk the same path that millennials, baby boomers, Gen X have walked that didn't pay them at the end of the day. Some of them sacrificed their health, their life, their love life, their family members just for promotions. And at the end of the day, when the board just said, oh, we are downsizing, we need to retrench a lot of people, they were part of it. So yes, told myself 9 to 5 is 9 to 5. In my first year, I got a call from my boss on a Saturday. I think I was having a conversation with my mom, and family time is a big thing for me. I love family time. Nothing should just distract me because I'm at work and most times I'm tired. I get back home and relax. So yes, I go back to work on Monday. She didn't text me to tell me why she called me. So I just felt it was not an emergency. Maybe she's found someone to sort things out for her. And on Monday, she was like, okay, I called you, you didn't pick my call. I proudly told her, ma, I was having family time. Because if I'm at home or if I'm at work, and then I always say to my mom, hey, mommy, how are you? Oh, one, you hear questions like, are you here to work? Are you here to talk to your mom? So right now, with the story being said, I need you to understand that it is your responsibility as an adult to take care of yourself. HR won't always be there for you. HR can ask you to do this, do that. Your hiring manager, your line manager can ask you to do this and do that. I need you to understand that until you take responsibility for your life and for yourself as a person, you might still be making the same mistakes. And I'll say this to you again, that the day you realize work will continue without you, is the day you humble your hustle. Why am I trying to say this? We've seen people who, at the beginning of their lives, they were so dedicated. They're doing 9 to 5. They're also a techie. They're also running a business. They're doing a startup and the likes. You're trying to run a race. You're trying to build systems in place. You're doing steady grinding. But this is a gentle reminder that the grinding that you're grinding should not grind you. Because imagine you are working so hard, you have the money at the end of the day, and by 40, you're already battling with high blood pressure, you're battling with terminal diseases. What exactly is the point? So I'm going to give you some key points on how to just maintain your boundaries. 1, know when to say no. You see, no is the shortest and simplest sentence in the world to me. Or when can I do this? Oh no, I won't be able to do that now. But when I'm done with this, I will do it. And if I can't do it, I'll just give you feedback. Oh, I couldn't do this today just because of this and this and that. You cannot be everywhere at the same time for a job that will replace you. Even if you are the owner, even if you are the CFO or you are the CTO or people look up to you and everything, I need you to just ask yourself this question. If I die today, sorry to use that word, but it's high time we start asking ourselves the tough questions. If I die today, do I understand that my job role will continue? And this is the thing that we as professionals, like the mistakes we make is we dedicate ourselves so much that we are no longer conscious of our own self because we've surrendered our lives not to Christ, but for jobs that take so much of our time. Please, 9 to 5 is 9 to 5. If you don't know how to set boundaries, you may not be able to harness all the wins of the world in life. Please. This is also me trying to tell you that promotion can be replaced. Let's say somebody that, for example, in the bank, I remember Someone was saying something to me one time that, oh, HRs are wicked and the likes. And I was trying to clear her that not all HRs are wicked. My type of HR, I'm going to be very honest with you, right? I tell employees, go on leave. You hear companies that say they pay their staff leave allowance, normal, right? They still pay their staff extra for not going on leave because maybe they had more work to do and the likes. It's me saying to you that if that employee dies, the highest that company will do is to spend group life assurance, send money to the family, buy caskets, do the things and the like. The next minute, work continues. Oh, work is already continuing when they are sending memo for caskets. So this is me saying to you that you need to put systems in place where work is no longer a determinant to your own breadth of life. I'm saying this to you because if you look at the next generation, like we have Gen Alpha after us as Gen Zs, it's something I want to tell my younger generation that rest is not laziness. Rest is not weakness. Rest is not supposed to make you feel like an infidel. Rest is as important as your work. As an adult, kindly tell me how many hours you're supposed to use to sleep. So I even know where we are starting from this conversation. So how many hours do you sleep as a 95?
6.
6 hours. Okay, good. The next person. Anyone else?
8 hours.
Okay, 8 hours. Hey, I'm sorry, please. Who is the Dav brand? The Dav brand, I think I'd like to have a conversation with you. Why do you sleep 4 hours? 4 hours is so unhealthy because is the Dav brand, kindly unmute. I need to have a conversation with you like now.
I'm listening.
Okay, good. Do you mean that you sleep 4 hours per day every week?
Not almost all the time, though. Like there are some times that it's required for me to stay on trench on the laptop to do some work and all. So
Okay,
most
so
time I do sleep when I come back from because I used to do some work at night. I go some day work. I will come back when I come back from day work. I'll just leave maybe 3 to 7 or 8 thereabouts, and by then I will start work for nights till maybe around 4 a.m. or p.m. thereabouts. So I was going for a day outside. So that is how it works.
that's how it works for me. I'm just here to tell you that it's high time we created a schedule or a balance to make sure that I know, yeah, more or less, most people say work-life balance don't exist, but you have to be very intentional about your rest because this same job that you're putting your life on the line for, it is highly demanding that if you want to grow old and grow better, you also rest properly. Okay, so I think I'm done with you now. Thank you so much. Thank you. So yes, I'll be giving you some rundowns, right? There is no reward for sufferhead. This person worked from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. He was always the first to come to the office, the last to leave. Before the company posts the obituary, that person's replacement is already doing onboarding. There is already handover in a kind of way. Somebody is already there to take over. There is no reward for software. All these ones that are doing a steady grinding. I'm going to speak to you as HR, and I'm also going to speak to you as an employee to employee. If somebody has it in mind, if the managers or the board has it in mind to replace you, they will. So I'm not saying you should not work. Please dedicate 6 to 7 hours, even if it's 4 times a week to start with. Please sleep. I'll tell you why. You see this office that people pop on the head like agege bread. If you die today, I hope you know that they'll just cry for 1 day or 2 to 3 days. That's if they even like you like that. HR is already recruiting. Hiring manager is already saying, HR, we see that this person has died now. When is the new hire coming in? You didn't realize that work is just supposed to be work that you do for a particular amount of time. You understand that, oh, there is so much more to life than 9 to 5. There's so much more to life than tech. So you need to take care of yourself as a person too. Don't sacrifice your today for a tomorrow that you're not even sure of. Not like you're not sure of it exactly, but I'm saying that you need to build a body that can withstand the stress of tomorrow. I mean, build a body that can understand when to say no. Rest as at when even at work, you could take breaks. That's why every employee has an hour break. I don't know how it applies to you in your companies, but this mandatory according to labor law to have at least an hour break at work. Okay, that hour break could be done. It could be used for eating, for reading, for sleeping. I, for example, when I'm having headaches, I just take off my glasses, drink water, rest my head on the table. And before I rest, I set the timer for like 10 minutes. So it's not like I'm dozing off and I wake up. And this is the thing that I also needed to realize. Rest is a clarity booster. I repeat, rest is a clarity booster. For myself, when I'm down, how do I recover when there's pressure? I remember this year we had audits, and audit is one of those, it's a very big thing in companies. And at the end of the audits, I made myself a very nice meal. After making myself that very nice meal, I sat on the floor, ate it, and slept. The next day, I didn't even remember that, I had a lot to go through. Because food is good. Sleep is important. So the high time you realize that, you also know that, food is a clarity booster, just like rest is. Okay? Then we need to come to the point where we also understand that you could be a hardworking professional, but you also need to build sustainability in the sense that rest when you can. I can't emphasize this enough. Please rest when you can. Work will always continue with or without you, and this is not the season to put your life on the line for a company that can easily replace you in minutes. I'm not saying you should not do your job well, but please know where to set boundaries. Yes, I'm going to attend to this where people say they are under pressure, there are a lot of deadlines. The deadline should be dead in the line between 9 to 5. If I'm going to stay after work by 5, I know, I have to do this, so I'll be able to take it into the next day. It's not that we have an emergency. Pressure or deadline should not be every day. Let's even focus on pressure. Ability to work under pressure. Please, in your CVs, if it is there, I beg you, kindly take it off your CV, because when the pressure begins to pressure you, you will not remember that you put it in your CV. Working under pressure is not a flex. It is not my parents did it, I can do it now. It is not a flex, and it is high time we understood that. Also, you need to build a career, like I said earlier, that your body can survive. Eat well, rest well. WHO said something that about 750,000 people die yearly just because of burnout. So let me even tell you how this burnout thing starts. You have headaches, you snap at people a lot, you have no joy, right? You have back pain, you have chest tightening. Whenever it's Sunday evening like this, you're already doing vroom, vroom, vroom. You're just doing via, like you are scared. How is work going to be like? If you don't learn how to do the camps, the world will just be doing you like bouncing castle, will just be throwing you like ball left and right. So yes, when you identify these things, it's also imperative that you find time to rest, because if you don't, you cannot cheat nature. I put it to you, you cannot cheat nature. The body will take its own time if you don't give it. The body will take its own time to rest, because we are not God, we are just a human being. Okay, so yes, I'll be answering questions going forward, but just to make things clear, boundaries are healthy if they are sensible boundaries anyway, because I mean, we're talking about 9 to 5, we're talking about tech here. Set boundaries, because if you don't set those boundaries, life will set you in places where your health cannot defend you. Okay, take your annual leave. What's the point of is those lazy people that go on leave? Have you heard of people who died on their seats at work? Have you heard of people who had heart attacks while driving to work and they were on a meeting, they were on a call? This is 2026, and it's high time we understood that if everything is urgent, nothing is strategic. I repeat, if everything is urgent, nothing is strategic. Boundaries wise, You don't have to take every phone call. I see some phone calls and I'm just waiting for the person to text me, because you could have texted. If I didn't respond, you could now call me. Or if you called twice, you could send a message. But it's not, oh, my boss is calling me. They're shaking. My dear. Hey. It's high time we also realize that boundaries help people respect you. I, for one, I don't take call on weekends. If your life is not on the line for that message you want to send to me, please keep it till Monday. If nobody's life is on the line for the mail you want to send to me to attend to, kindly treat as urgent on a Sunday. Me. If it's not that you call me, probably put my line manager and copy, and then he's saying, oh, it's maybe HMO or someone is sick or we need to submit a document, maybe it's audit week or audit month. You cannot have that conversation. But if that mail or that message or that call can wait till Monday, you don't have to be the one to initiate it on Friday or Saturday morning. We can't keep
Ms. Aderonke, sorry, you have 2 minutes more.
Oh, okay. I'm wrapping up now. Thank you so much. Boundaries are very important. Like I said, I don't take calls on weekends. If it's not that somebody's life is on the line, it's not an emergency, you don't get to call me by 7 a.m. If you're calling me by 7 a.m., I probably know you won't take an excuse that you're not coming to work, maybe because you are sick or there's traffic. I also enter bus Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, so I know how it is. I see you at work, oh, you are late, it's okay. But I also tell my employees, I tell my colleagues that you that are doing past yourself, I hope you know that if you die today, I'm going to hire somebody that will replace you. That alone, maybe as HR, I shouldn't be saying it, but I'm not that HR that will keep or pamper you when you're doing the wrong thing. I will tell you, rest. You are loved at home. There is no point doing more than your body should. Sleep when you have to. Stand up from that chair. Stand up from your workstation. At least every 15 minutes, like 15 minutes or 2 hours. Just stand up. Take a walk. Some of you have been on your chair for the past 3 days, from the bed to the chair to go and picking Glovo outside. You don't even see the sun if Glovo is not outside for you. Why? You can't keep building these situations where work is now controlling your life. You should be in control of your life as a human, as an adult. So if you want to understand more of this, because I'm wrapping up now, you could check my profile on LinkedIn. April is Stress Awareness Month, and I've been running insights on how to survive 9 to 5 that's giving 5 to 9. So if you know that you want to learn more, just check Aderonke Agunbiade on LinkedIn, the GemBridge HR. You see my profile. Go through my post and then you understand. Most importantly, rest is not weakness. Rest is strategic. Boundaries make people respect you, whether you know it or not. And the boundaries have to be consistent. It's not that you pick somebody's call today at 7 a.m. Somebody's calling you tomorrow by 11 p.m. Why? Make sure that you're building a system where your body is in charge of what the work we want you to do, even in the future, because we don't want people battling with health issues in life. We don't want untimely deaths. Like, okay, just to say this to round up, on LinkedIn this week, I saw 2 obituaries, and these guys were not even up to 40. In the comment section, needed to see, oh, it was very hardworking. And I'm like, hardworking or not, it is important that you sleep. It is important that you make time for yourself. Go out with friends. Every Sunday, I make it a point of duty that always are like this. I just want to see people. I just want to hang out before I begin the 9 to 5 rush hours. You cannot be on your screen every time and think, oh, things are going to work well if you don't even communicate with people, if you don't sleep. Okay, so with these few points of mine, I hope that you understood that there's more to life than 5, there's more to life than tech. Rest is as important as work, and no work, no job, no salary should be able to buy your sanity. Thank you and God bless. Bye. Oh,
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ms. Aderonke. I really enjoyed your wonderful presentation, and I'm sure that we all learned a lot from your presentation. I think what I have picked from your presentation is that rest is not weakness, because some of us grew up in homes where we think you have to be busy every time. If you're not doing something, then something is wrong with you. Maybe you are lazy, but then rest is not weakness. And I think that's a very good take home for each and every one of us. So, quick story. While Miss Aderonke was talking to us, I remembered while I was working, the first time I got admitted to the hospital was when I started working. I didn't know what it looks like to be given drip. But when I started working, I got admitted, I think 3 good times. I was admitted to the hospital because I will go to work and I was supposed to close by 4. Sometimes I will leave work around 8 o'clock. And it's not because the work I was doing could not be postponed to the next day, but I just wanted to finish the work. I wanted my boss to see that I could work well, I'm a good staff, and da da da. And I was burning out. And one of the reasons why I knew I was burning out was I snapped back at one of the nurses. I was working with a private hospital and I snapped back at one of the nurses and I was just so cranky that day. And I felt like, trust, I have come to my limits. And that is one of the things I would be trying to emphasize on, because there'll be a session where I'll ask you guys questions and then we'll talk about that area. Creating boundary between yourself as a staff and your boss, because sometimes you have to spell things out to your boss. When I was leaving that workplace, I told my boss, the hospital is expanding and one person cannot do this work except you want to kill the person. I told him that he has to employ 2 people. And trust me, he employed 2 people. So the work that I was doing alone, 2 people took over the job. So if I had told him earlier on that, sir, I don't think I can do this work alone, I think you should employ someone that will assist me, I'd probably have someone to assist me and the workload will not be as much as it was for me. So please, if you have to have conversations with your boss, it doesn't mean that you're rude. You know, there's a saying that, oh, the young people are now rude. You guys know how to talk to your elders and maybe say no to your elders. No, setting boundaries is not being rude, please. You're not talking to them in a rude way. You're just explaining to them what is obvious. You're just spelling out the obvious to them. And please, in your workplace, if you're a 9 to 5 or if you work remotely, spell out boundaries with people. Yeah, Peculiar said she has a question. You can ask your question, Peculiar. I'm sorry, Peculiar, please, you can ask your question. If you have questions, you can also drop it in the chat box.
She said that she has to type, but Christine has her hands up.
Christine, you can ask your question, please.
All right, thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. This has been a very beautiful session, by the way. I've been learning a whole lot. But my question is for Aderonke. So I work in an environment where I have like a very difficult boss, and just to give an instance, he likes when after office hours you just stay back and probably do some extra work. And for me, I like running up my work before 5. Most times by 4 I'm done with my work, or by 4:30 I'm done with my work, depending on the department I'm working, right? And once it's 5, I take my bag and I go home. And I'm always asking everyone, do you need me to do anything for you before I leave? And there are certain times where I'm going home, he'll call me back into his office, and then he's all like, why are you going home by this time? And I'll ask him, please, do you need me to do anything for you? He will say no, but I am not supposed to go home at that time. I'm always very insistent. I'm sorry, but I usually don't listen to that, because I take my bag and I go home. There was a particular incident 2-3 weeks back. where I worked an extra hour, by the way, and it was almost 6 and I was going to go home, and he was like, I shouldn't go home. And it was a back and forth, like this is past my office hours, 1 hour literally into past my office hours, and it was a back and forth. And I took my bag and I went home, and my boss is someone who is very unforgiving, and I've noticed over time where he always looks for ways to get back at you. He always looks for ways. So if there's an issue in the future, he just pushes it at you that, okay, repayment for something that happened before. So working with that kind of a person, it has been very difficult to set boundaries, because even times where I need to explain to him that this is my situation, this is that, he basically becomes verbally abusive. At some point, I would think maybe I should actually take it up with my HR, but considering where I work, they will know it's you, and they won't sack them, definitely, and they will get back at you. So in that kind of situation, how do I cope? Because I've been coping for like 2 years now, right? And lately it's becoming a lot. So I want to know, how do I deal with that situation, and get him to basically stop his behavior, and not just towards me but towards everyone.
Okay, hi Kristen. I love your question, and I'm sending you virtual hugs. And the next time we see, I'm going to give you a big hug. Okay, I understand how this is. I've seen it happen. Probably felt it in a way or two, but your boss knows what to do. That's just the first thing to say. And most importantly, I need you to start planning your exits as soon as possible. Give yourself a 3-month target. Work towards it. Apply. Dedicate some time to apply, maybe like 2 to 3 hours per day. Apply across board. Apply across boards. Make sure that you are not. See, that man is there a millennial or a Gen X. I know that. Kristen, please, he can't be a Gen Z. That I know.
Yes, you are very correct.
So they have been conditioned that you have to do the extra at work. I have my life to complete at home. I'm loved at home. I have my life to live. So if you work and then you're asking me by 5, do you have anything for me to do? Do you need me for anything? And then he says, no, you're not supposed to go home by this time. Your office does not sound like a good place to hear. Like, I don't think it sounds like a place that they give fair hearing. So I'm just going to say this. It has to come to a point where you stand to defend yourself. I don't mean rude, because as Gen Z, they probably see us as rude. Good afternoon, sir. It has come to my notice that you like me staying extra work hours. Kindly state the reason why, because my offer letter says 9 to 5. If you are going to increase this, you probably have to increase my pay. If they don't want to increase your pay, go home. Everybody should do what everybody knows what they are doing. I think it's high time you also understood that. Then if he's saying he knows how to get back at you, who is your HR? If you cannot send a mail to your HR saying, oh, kindly, this doesn't apply to toxic purposes. I just want to clear that, because if you send a mail, they're probably going to get back at you. You get suspended, and they will frustrate you. So they'll frustrate you to the extent to which you have to resign by yourself. So that's why I'm saying you have to plan your exits now. Have a conversation with him. Probably jokingly. Yes, he does not forgive. Pray to God about it. You can control somebody from the spirits. Father, in the name of Jesus, I'm reporting my boss. State his name. Father, in the name of Jesus, I'm reporting this person to you. I don't have any other place to go now, but I know that you're going to work things out for me. Please see to this. I have knocked on doors that I prayed before I entered, and I saw God. Because normal, they're supposed to raise their voice. Oh, okay, oh, really? So what do you expect us to do? Of course, you listen to me. I said, the living God. But see, as Jesus baby girls, as Jesus baby boys, we should know when somebody is trying to pass their limits and pay attention to it, so we don't get to look like a puppet to them. Plan your exit, most importantly. You have like 1 to 3 months. Have a conversation with your boss. like set a very light mood. Excuse me, sir. Don't do as if you are begging him. They're just coming to a conclusion because these people like when people, the older generations, not to make it sound like an insult, but there is this particular percentage of them that like to feel, oh, we must stoop so low for them to listen to us. And then, excuse me, sir, it has come to my notice. Find a very nice situation, read the room anyway. Try to tell him. So is there something about me you like that you're not telling me? Is it that you like my hair, you like my face, you want to see me extra hours? Do you want me to print a picture for you and put it on your table? I'm not saying that's something fetish, but lighting the spirits. Last, we will talk what is in his mind. If it's that he wants to frustrate you, you would know from his countenance. And if you see that he's not listening after all that you've said, my dear, please go. I love that too. Okay, thank you. Peace. Okay, so I got a message from Peculiar Treasure Peter saying my line manager is one that pushes our work to others, or let me say always biased. Okay, how do I deal with that? My boss expects you to do all the work. Why have people get busy but not working? So you go. Peculiar, please kindly confirm that you have that you're in a structured organization, because it depends. I don't want to give you an answer for a structured organization where your organization is not structured. Okay, she knows what she's doing, and I'm not saying you have to revolt, but you just have to say to her one day that, ma, delegate the duties to our people that don't want to work. Because what is the point? They are probably paying those people higher salaries. You are doing all the work, you're exhausted. If you fall sick, or let's say the worst happens, they are going to find someone else to do the job. If you cannot state it to her face, oh man, this and this is what's going on, I do not feel comfortable. I need you to also realize that employment is a contract. You work for the company works for you. Nobody's doing you a favor. So long you're being paid a salary, nobody's doing you a favor. Man, I don't appreciate that. I have so much of tax to do. I would love to delegate this particular set of duties to this set of people. I know that they can handle it. Refurbish the word. Let it look very compelling that she has no choice than to say no. If you need to pray about this before executing it, like you need to ask her for directions, please do. This is 2026. Things like this should not be happening, because at the end of the day, we all know what we are doing. Okay? Peculiar Treasure, I hope I answered that question well. Okay. Report to the union because please, I need you to take proper documentation. Please. If you're going to take this to the union, have documentations. If you want to be the one to trigger it, send an email. Probably put your HR in copy, but it might be a lot for you. But she sends you something to do via email. Respond to say, hello, ma, this and this kindly noted. At this, kindly attend to this. Let it be known that you also tried to delegate duties. Okay, it's not like you are saying you will have this thing where they say, wrong, please complete it. People know that out. So you don't have to make people feel like they are not supposed to be working when they're supposed to be working. Okay. So Mercy Ogulano says, what if working outside work hours is a culture in the organization from CEO down to the managers? Oh, must you continue the culture? Must you? That's the question you have to ask yourself. If it's something you can do, fine. If not, please don't join it. This CEO is married. He has wife and children at home. You will be looking for fish that you want to microwave or something like that. The table is not set for you yet. They have a chef. They have a driver. You will enter the bus. I'm just naming things for you so that you understand what I'm talking about. Your CEOs down to the managers. They know what they are doing. Okay? No. 9 to 5 is 9 to 5. Stick to it. Stick to it. If anybody is going to make you work outside 9 to 5, there must be a cogent reason, and it should not be every day. If it's going to be every day, in response to their mail or in response to that letter, in case they are upgrading your JD, please put this and this that you said will be added to Only if you can even say you want to be doing hybrid role safe so that you can be doing your work from home. And you now have to be spending money on transport if they don't want to increase your salary. But if they will, all the best to them. Then for okay, Mr. Bulano, I hope that answers your question, right?
We'll take one. We'll take just one more question, Miss Adirunke, because our
Okay.
time has passed. Then.
Okay. I'm sorry, there is this the Dave Brand. Okay, can I read this question, please?
All right, you can. Please go
Okay, so
ahead.
getting posted to a school as a core member, the school manager assigned the 5 subjects to teach. On most days, I have classes almost done. Before being posted, the had to remove. Okay, this is NYC. How many months have you spent there? You can actually ask for a rejection letter if it does not work for you. Did you speak to your LGI or wrote a letter to the LGI backing it up with evidence? Because LGIs that I know will follow you to your school. I don't know where you are serving, but if your LGI is human sensitive enough, back up your complaints with evidence, okay? And report. It's not, excuse me, sir, excuse me, ma, they are frustrating me. They always frustrate people, but what did you come with to report to show that, oh, this and this is what they're doing, okay? Thank you. So, Trust, I think I'm done.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Miss Adirunke.
Okay, yeah, thank you too. Thank you.
Yeah, so I'd like you guys to write this down. Rest is not a reward for finishing work. It is a requirement for sustaining life. It is not just a reward, oh, I'm done with this work, now I can rest. It's a requirement for you to be able to sustain your life. So please make sure you create time to rest. If you do not plan for it, you will never rest. Because there will be one thing or the other. If you're not a 9 to 5, 9 to 5, I'd say maybe you work remotely, you always see one thing or the other to do. There will be one job opportunity or the other for you to take, and then sometimes you might not be able to reject it because you do not know that you're supposed to rest. You think you're supposed to be busy every time. So you do not know when you're supposed to reject some opportunities. They might look like they're good opportunities, but your body needs rest. Now I'm talking from the point of a physiologist, right? So your body needs rest. And that's why sometimes you have to reject some opportunities so that you can how do I put it now? So that your body can gain strength for you to pursue whatever goal you want to pursue for a very long term. So thank you very much, Ms. Aderonke. Thank you very much to all the speakers. Now to the audience, we are already far behind time, but I'd like you to put it in the chat box section, or if you want to tell us, you're free to raise up your hand. What is that sacred boundary that you're going to build up, and how are you planning to implement it? Whether as regards your prayer life, your family life, your rest life, what is that sacred boundary that you're willing to build up? And each of the speakers have given us different examples of boundaries we can put up. For your family life, you can decide that, okay, while I'm eating, nobody's going to use their phone. I'm not going to use my phone while we are eating. You can decide for your prayer life, before I stand up from my bed, before I pick up any call, I'm going to have my quiet time. You can decide for rest, that once it's 9 p.m., I'm not picking any call because I want to have time to rest. So what is that boundary that you want to set up to ensure that you maintain a fulfilling and purposeful life, a healthy life? So I want to see your answers.
Answers can be sent to the chat box.
I'm so sorry, I got disconnected because of the network. I'm so sorry. I got disconnected again because of the network. So, what's that boundary that you're willing to set from everything that we've learned today? Okay, Mr. Taiwo David, you can speak, please. Mr. Taiwo David.
All right. Good evening now. Good evening to everyone. Thank you, Mrs. Aderonke. Thank you for that wonderful speech and time. So personally, I would say I will from now on I will learn to say no and not to take every opportunity, because it is not definitely it is definitely not every opportunity that comes my way that is for me. So I will learn to say no and prioritize which opportunity I take. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Taiwo. Yeah, that's a very good one. You learn to say no. So, do I have any other person who'd like to share what boundary they're willing to set up with us? Anyone? Okay, so because of our time, I'd like to add this to everything that has been said today. Aside work, there are other distractions that are stealing away our prayer life, our family life, and our rest. Because sometimes it's possible that you're busy. You know, we said we're going to be realistic in our conversation. It's possible that you're busy, and then we are young, right? We are at the point in time where we are trying to build our lives. So, and you're trying to build your life because you want to be able to have enough rest when we get older. So there are times where you are very busy, but in all of those times, there are things that are stealing away your time, stealing away your rest, stealing away your prayer life aside from work. Now, I'll give an example. While I was working with the hospital I was working with, sometimes when I'm tired and I get back from work, the first thing I will do is to pick up my phone and then I'll start scrolling and I'll keep scrolling. And then after everything, I'll see that, oh, I've been scrolling for the past 2 hours. Jesus. And then I want to rest. I want to pray. And then I was staying with my parents at that time. I want to also help at home. How will I be able to do that if I also allow distractions? So there are times that apart from our work, we allow certain distractions, and distractions to you might be anything. It might be your phone, it might be any other thing. So we should also try to make sure that we do not allow distractions in our lives. And then another question I like to ask is, what is the first thing that work takes away from you? Is it your prayer life? Is it your family life? Or is it rest? What is the first thing? For some people, it's their prayer life. Once they are busy, oh, prayer. Oh, I'll pray tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. And we've learned from Mr. Desmond that we have to pray at every point in time. So that 15 minutes that you have, use it wisely. And I pray that God is going to help us. So Miss Aderonke has a video that she wants to show to us. So Miss Aderonke, yeah, you can play the video to us.
Please give me some time to get back on. Just hold on. So I will have to share my screen. Okay. Just give me some time to get that.
All right, no problem. While we are waiting for Miss Aderonke, I'd like to ask another question. If you were given a week off from work, will you really pray, rest, or spend time with your family? Or will you resume back to work complaining of how you didn't have time to do anything? So now we're going to be sincere with ourselves. If you were given 1 week off from work, will you really have time to pray? Will you really have time to spend with your family? Or will you be engrossed with some other things that will still take away that time that you're meant to spend with God, time you're meant to spend with your family, and then the time that you're meant to rest? Please, you can answer that question in your journal or wherever you're jotting. Now, back to the question that I asked when we started the whole program. Is it possible to find balance between work, prayer, family, and rest? Or does one have to suffer for the other to thrive? I'd like to hear our contributions from everything that you've learned today. Is it really possible? You know how people are saying, oh, find a balance, find a balance. Is it really possible to find that balance? Or does one have to suffer for the other to thrive? Please, I want your suggestions. I want your contributions. What do you think? Is it really possible for you to find a balance? Or does one have to suffer for the other to thrive? Okay, Mr. Taiwo wants to say something.
Yeah, I think personally, I would say there is always a way to find a balance. Even the balance might not be balanced at first, but at the ending, it's going to be balanced. So what I mean is, at first, there are some certain things that we just have to suffer, but we shouldn't make it a permanent suffering. We should make them temporary, and within short time, we must fix what needs to be fixed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Taiwo. You said that there are times where your balance will not be balancing, but then you have to ensure that it gets balanced at the end of the day. I'm trying to, rephrase what he said. But so from what he has said, he said even when it is not balanced, it has to be something that is temporary, not something that will continue like that for a very long time. Mr. Felicia said there is no reward for sufferhead. Yes, that's one great thing that we've learned. If you're working as a 9 to 5 there's no reward for sufferhead. Yeah, Ms. Adirunke, are you ready for us?
Yes, yes. So just give me a minute to set it up. I have it.
All right. Our time is fast spent. I really hope that by 4:30 we're able to conclude with the program.
Please kindly confirm that I can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Hello there. So on today's episode of A Gentle Reminder, this is a gentle reminder that you are replaceable.
Please, can you hear what this video has to say?
I think that there's a little bit of a glitch.
We can hear, but I think you posted.
Oh, okay, yeah. I just wanted to confirm, so I'm going to take it back. Sorry. Thank you.
Hello there. So on today's episode of A Gentle Reminder, this is a gentle reminder that you are replaceable. The fact that you try to outdo yourself, I understand, is the year of audacity. And you to know that 1 minute silence is no longer 1 minute silence. If you die today, it just takes 3 days for them to clear out your table. Just 3 days, even that same day. and HR is already recruiting. Hiring manager is already telling HR, oh, this person has gone, who's going to replace the person? So this is me telling you that you are replaceable and you should not do past yourself. Take care of yourself. If it is you work from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., others are working from 9 to 5, you chose 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. You don't go to the hospital, you say you don't always fall sick. Continue. Your eye not peep. But if you peep, I'm here to give you Ori to rub your eye. We'll take care of you.
Okay.
Okay.
So, thank you so much for having me on this. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Aderonke. May your eye not peel, because if it peels, Ms. Aderonke will give you a wreath to rub on it. Thank you very much, Ma. So before I wrap up, I'd like to give a quote by Kobe Bryant. He said that nothing is ever perfect. The challenge is how to get them as perfect as possible. Nothing is ever perfect. The challenge is how to get them as perfect as possible. Thank you very much for your time. I'll hand over to Mr. Daniel now.
Wow. I want to see the virtual applauses coming in, and I just have to say it's been an amazing time listening to these seasoned speakers. If you have been blessed, I want to see in the chat box that you've been blessed. I've been blessed. Give them 100. They've taken us to the promised land. Honestly, it's been an amazing time. I want to say that God will bless all of our speakers. Before we log off this evening, let's compile what the Holy Ghost has downloaded through our speakers from our brother Desmond. He has expressly stated that we should pray without ceasing. And he said it's plain that the only way to solve prayerlessness is by praying, and the necessity is laid upon us. Most things you don't feel like doing, especially like things like prayer, or probably a project or a course that you don't feel like, you have to do it, because continuity brings enthusiasm. So open your IDA, open your Bible, manage yourself with time, with respect to time, because Ephesians 16 says we redeem the time. And we've also heard from our brother Samuel, who has warned us that one way to fail with family is to be succeeding at work. Not because work is an evil thing, but because work gives us results and recognition fast, while the home feels quiet. Don't be present at home physically and be absent in the mind. Don't give your best to work alone. Schedule your family. If it is not on your calendar, it is not real. Work already owns your calendar, so block time for those who matter in your life. Define presence. When you are home, put your phone and your work tools down. Set sacred boundaries, intentional limits around what holds deepest value to you. Joshua 24:15 says, "As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." Your house first before you go to GitHub. God bless everyone. And then finally, from our Gen Bridge HR, and she has given us enough charge. She has given us drips and enough. The grinding you are grinding should not grind you. That one, I think, is something that's a Gen Z quote we should all take home. Know when to say no. You cannot be everywhere for a job that can replace you tomorrow. Put systems in place where work is not your determinant to life. There is no reward for sufferhead. And also, remember to rest and eat food, because this too are clarity boosters. Even Elijah in 1 Kings 19, God gave him food and sleep before the next instruction. And we all remember how that went. All right. So our Kingdom Tech Life is not just to burn out. It's not just to burn out, but it's also for Jesus. And remember that in Matthew chapter 11, verse 28, Jesus said, "Come unto me, and I will give you rest." So in whatever you are doing, involve God in it, and He will give you rest, even in a stressful environment. So for tonight, as you go, remember to pray till prayer feels normal. Luke chapter 18, verse 1 says, "Men ought always to pray and not to faint." If you can't feel it, force it. Continuity breeds fire. Calendar your altar and your family. Teach us to number our days. Psalm 90, verse 12. Let us understand. Block your time for God. Block your time for your family. Block your time for work in that order, and God will help you. And you see that balance in your life. Build with boundaries. Proverbs 4, verse 23 lets us to understand that we should guard our hearts with all diligence. Remember that your heart includes your time, your heart includes your health, your heart includes your family. Say no so that your yes to God stays very loud. And also remember Colossians 3:23, whatever you do, whatever you code, whatever you deploy, whatever you debug, do it heartily as unto the Lord. Also, 6 days shall thou labor, the 7 days rest. Even when God created the earth and the heavens, He rested on the 6th day. I think that is a point of note for every one of us. And for all of us who are part of the community, if you are not part of, and this is your first time, you are welcome. We have our platforms across X, Instagram, and of course on WhatsApp. Do well to join us, and we will be having these conversations coming up. Okay, Bro Matthew has put it up in the chat. We also have LinkedIn as well. Please connect with us. We will be having more of these. I'm sure you would want to be in the next one. A big appreciation goes to our speakers, our senior brother Desmond, our brother Samuel, and our Gen Z HR. We would see more of them. We would get to hear more of them. If you want to connect with them, we will share their LinkedIn as well, so you get to connect. And if you have more questions that need answers, we can also reach out to you. You can reach out to us, and we'll connect you to them. As we wrap up today, we grind ourselves, but we also redeem time and tech for the kingdom. So in whatever we do, remember, do it with the kingdom in mind. As we go out from today, yes, we have the WhatsApp community. Please, if you want to join, Bro Matthew, can you put that up in the chat box so that everyone, if you want to join us? All right. So it's there. If you want to join the community, feel free. For those of us who have families, remember that your work, your laptop is also your altar. While you are building things for the kingdom, remember that you also have a dining table too. And God is going to help every one of us in Jesus' name. We are the DCLM Tech community, and we will come up with so many programs as you've seen today, and we will have multiple platforms we'll be doing so. So do well to connect with us. And thank you so much for coming out. God bless you as you go and deploy the kingdom at work, deploy the light of God in your home, and may the balance of the Spirit go with you now and forevermore. Amen. Let's have a word of prayer, and then we close for the day. Heavenly Father, we are grateful to you tonight, this evening, for this amazing time and time of exposition and exposure to what secret boundaries are in family and life and work, and the essence of taking time to balance things out. we pray that as we live here, we will not just listen, but we will implement in our lives and our work in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you so much for staring out tonight till now. See you at our next edition.